Good morning everyone and welcome back to the farm. So in today's video we're going to talk about genetic diversity. Now this specifically becomes a problem for farmers like us that are trying to raise rare endangered birds. And in fact we have multiple breeds of chicken on the farm that we are probably one of only 5 or 6 breeders in the United States. You can think of the obvious problems that this causes. There's a lot of line breeding or inbreeding in these birds, and you never know how much necessarily inbreeding has gone on before the birds got to you. So I always do my absolute best to get genetic diversity, obviously. So I want birds from completely different flocks that are 100% unrelated. Of course, with these rare birds, it's not always possible. Now, for any chicken breeder, you should be replacing your rooster every few years to get the best hatch rates. If you're anything like us, you usually just hatch out your own, which means it's still the same genetics. So at what point or what signs do we see that mean we need to go outsource a rooster? Because the rooster is the easiest thing to change, right? What I have unfortunately noticed with a certain breed of our chickens is, just like this chick, here, and I'm going to come show you closer. Let's see. See how this leg keeps hopping up? It's the joint right here, this joint, that is not working properly. So what we're going to talk about is how you know whether or not it's a genetic problem or just an incubator problem. So one of the things I like to do when I'm not sure whether or not it's just me or whether or not it's a genetic weakness, so you can know that there are genetic issues and that there needs to be more genetic diversity if you're having super low hatch rates. Again, for me, I have so many flocks, I can isolate it to just one flock. But if you only have one flock and you're not sure, give your eggs to someone else, give them to a friend, and let them try to hatch them out. I have done this before. We have a really great vet in town, and she hatches out stuff all the time. We used to have Buff Orpingtons, and we do not anymore because I was seeing genetic weakness. Now, they were absolutely beautiful. We were starting to get really, really low hatch rates. And I began to wonder if that was because they had been line bred for so long that they needed more genetic diversity to be strong, healthy birds. I was very upfront with the woman that I sold them to. We gave them to her because she also is experiencing the same problems with her Buff Orpington, and she needed a little bit of genetic diversity. So we both had the same problem. I decided to get out of the Buff Orpington raising and let her do what she is so good at. But maintaining genetic diversity becomes really difficult when you have endangered rare breeds. So I am going to confess to you our plan on helping with this problem. Number one, it helps to really focus in on just a few breeds. We are focusing only on Pincheons and Cuckoo Dorking. So one of the breeds we have is Pincheons, and they're kind of known for being a little bit flighty. We are part of a Pincheon group, and we are one of 5 people that were part of the group that are actually currently raising Pincheon. I'm a big fan of these because of their size. They're really great for raising if you don't have a ton of space or if you don't want to spend a ton on feed. These are always a really great option. I love my Bantam chickens, but I specifically love my Pincheons. They are a true Bantam, which means that unlike a lot of Bantams, there is not a large form of this bird. They are truly a small chicken. It was highly suggested to me that if you're going to have a breed that you are trying to keep alive that is endangered, that you have 2 flocks of them that are completely genetically separate. And then what you're going to do is every year or so, you're going to swap the roosters. and this will help you keep that line of genetics for as long as possible. This is the only flock that I don't have any genetic diversity in. I was unable to find anyone else other than Moss Mountain Farms that had these. So anyone that has some of these or knows somebody that does, please reach out to me. Currently, we're the only people in the state of Texas that have pincheons that I am aware of. So I don't actually have, at this time, a backup plan for these birds if I do begin to see any kind of genetic defect. So ignoring our future potential problems and back to the present, here are our white Dorkings. Now, thank goodness this is actually not a breed that I am planning on focusing on, but we bought them actually with the intention of improving our Cuckoo Dorkings. And one of the problems with our Cuckoo Dorkings is that their coloring is way too dark. So, shocker, we bought the same breed, but the white Dorking, because we were told that that would be a potentially good way to help improve the coloring of our Cuckoo Dorkings. So we bought the white. All right, so in the back you might be able to see our pair of Cuckoo Dorkings. I'm hatching out a ton more, and when they grow up we will make the flock even bigger, but for now I am just going to remove the white rooster, and I will give him some Cuckoo Dorking hens when the time comes and see if that will fix the genetic issues. The best part about this fix is that I do not have to get rid of anything. Now back to our chick, which is going to be the part y'all are not going to like. 50% of the ones that hatched, 2 of these have the genetic defect. I will go ahead and tell you the reason I'm making this video is that one of them died this morning. My assumption is that it was crushed underneath the other chicks because it could not walk well. I always like to give them a couple days to see if it's going to right itself or whether or not they're just weak because they just hatched. And chicks get stronger with a couple days, and they should be running around, eating and drinking and doing everything with ease. So these are just a couple days old. I am not going to let this chicken live and continue to suffer. Probably it will get heavy enough that it will not be able to just kind of like hop or drag itself around because one leg does not work. I have gone to many lengths myself to help chicks survive. I will admit I'm a little bit more experienced now than I was back then, and I know probably what will be successful and what I'm going to be able to fix and what I'm not going to be able to fix. And joint issues is not something that I'm aware of a way to fix, nor school's just about to start, so I do not have the time to take care of a chick 24/7 and keep it alive. Also, I would not ever want to pass on this genetic defect. I say this because lately on the internet I've seen so many people with like 8, 9, 10-week-old chickens that were born with some problem kind of like this one, and they've kept them alive that long, and now they know that they're probably going to have to isolate that chicken so that it does not get hurt. So I hope you found this video helpful. It's a bit of a downer. It's not always peachy here on the farm, but we love it anyway. May God bless you, and may all your chicks be pullets. Bye, guys.